Hello and welcome back, Josh, Sam, and anyone else who's watching to Lviv and Let Die. Yeah. Now, it's been a little while. Things are not going brilliantly, but let's see what's happening. So, after that little song, this is the sad truth of the matter. We are 13th in the Ukrainian Premier League. A paltry 5 wins all season so far. 10 losses. Things are not going well. I'll show you what happened after we left us last time. I believe we played the cup game. We then received a few tonkings, 5-2 against champions Metalist. We lost 1-0 at home to Chornomorets, which I believe was a pretty scandalous result. We were so much better than them. We then lost 4-1 away at Dinamo, which happens. We then lost 4-3 at home to Karpaty, which is not cool because they are in contention for the title. And we then had a very unfortunate loss to Shakhtar. They were, better than us overall, but we had our chances. We were ahead. We did then manage to turn our, I think it was something like 10 games without a win. We turned that round and won 5-2 away at Olympic Donetsk. And then won 1-0 against Sevastopol, which was a one late goal from Gomez, which gave us some breathing room over the bottom two, before following that up with a 5-2 loss away at European chasing Krivbas, and then a 1-1 draw with Odessa. It's not been a good season, guys. It's not been a good season. We can't blame it all on the Europa League, although we can blame some of it on the Europa League. We've made some signings over the winter, which is kind of more like our real preseason. It's weird, but this is our proper preseason. We've done our usual beating lots of rubbish teams, and now we're going to play Arsenal Kiev. We're only going to play one game this video because I have to go to work in a few minutes. But we do have we do have some transfers to discuss. We have sold some players, and we have brought in some players. First, we got rid of, who was it? Uncle Ben has gone. He's been performing badly. He's gone £250,000 or £240,000 to Khabarovsk in Russia. We then sold Aziz Haydarov for £250,000 to Volga, who are also in the Russian First Division. We also sold Daniel Postulka, the striker who can't score, to Volga. He's gone as well. Another £375,000. They're desperate to be relegated, obviously. We also finally got rid of Andrei Kubes, the terrible left winger we signed as a desperate option. He only played once for us, so we got £40,000 out of him. Fair enough. Off he goes. He's gone back to Slovakia. And then another one, Thomas Holly, has gone on loan to Volga, who are, as I said, desperate to be relegated. They are in the relegation zone. They have the opportunity to get out of it, but I suspect that the players that they've bought of us will not help them that much. Maybe the goalkeeper will. Anyway, we've got rid of them. We've brought in some money this season, although it's not enough to even come close to bringing us out of the debt that we find ourselves in. We'll talk about the players we've brought in now. You'll remember we signed Ronaldo just after the registration ban last season. Earlier on in the season anyway, so he will now be able to play, so that's just FYI. We've then signed Miguel von der Putten. Has a fantastic name. He's only 19, so that's good. He's only Uruguayan. He's not Dutch, as you might think with that name. But anyway, he comes in, he'll fill a gap. We also signed the quite fantastic right-back Darwin Vergara. He's come in on a free. He's worth 1.1 million. He came in from Danubio. He's not even on that much money. It's quite impressive. I saw him. I snapped him up. He will be our starting right-back. Then, to get rid of the fact that we have lost our second best goalkeeper, we signed Yaya Bamba, the Ivorian youngster, 20 years age. He might break into the team next year, maybe. I don't know. It depends how good he gets. Then a player from Feyenoord Feteh for £5,000, covered by Tribunal, Daniel Aziz. The hope is that he will improve. They seem to get that circle seems to get smaller when they sign, because I'm sure he was better than that when I signed him. But anyway, in he comes. He's a bit of a backup option, but just somebody. And then Juan Carlos Fuentes, he is a defender/striker who I'm training to be a midfielder. A defensive midfielder is the idea. He's 5'10". He has 18 heading and 7 jumping. Great. He's also bad at finishing as a striker and not great at tackling. But there we go. It's just it's the pickings. They are slim. We all know about this. Anyway, the fun thing is that we did use all these players to have quite a strong mid-season break. So I'm hoping that will allow us to improve our form as we take on Arsenal, one of the few teams who are below us in the table. Now, let's just go through and do our standard clearing of the bench. Could have done this. Oh, and we've got a lot of players out on injuries. Hooray! Let's start with the strikers then. We'll put Ronaldo and Van der Putten there. Midfield. Yeah, that's fun. Bagardo's out for how long? 9 days. Pitbull's out for a few months, I think. Oh, no. Okay, he's not out for that long. Fine, okay. Well, then I'm slightly less despairing than I was a few moments ago. Spack is coming on quite well, though, so he will probably feature for us as the season wears on, and it does wear on at this point. Aziz will have to make the bench, and in defence, I'm going with this setup as you see it there. Puppo is pretty. Oh no, sorry. Puppo would start over. Yeah, where did I put everybody? Let's put Nazarenko and Ndai. There we go. That'll do. I keep trying to sell Yilmaz. He just doesn't get sold. What? Why does... Okay, well, you can have number 1 then, fine. Yes, and Miguel, you can have number 12. Good, let's go. Oh, God, it's all just... This season is annoying me, and all I want to do is try and push up into mid-table at this point. I don't care how shitty we've done compared to how our expectations were for this season, considering we came 5th last year. This season I just want to we're not going to get relegated. I'm pretty confident that the teams below us, Arsenal, Bukovina and Donetsk, are poor enough that mean that we won't be in any danger, although obviously if we lose this game that's possibly a slightly different story. But yeah, I'm confident that we'll be fine. We just want to push up the table and try and make sure that our reputation doesn't take too much of a hit for this shit show of a season. Jan Torno, oh, you fool. Karpati clear at the top, showing that we could, they had a terrible season last season, nearly got relegated and ended up in mid-table after having come second, I think. So, there is a precedent for a team doing badly and then recovering and having a strong season the next year. That's the only thing that I can hope we do. I suspect in the summer we might lose a couple of the bigger players, mainly because we've got no bloody money. So it only makes sense that we need to sort of try and bring in some money to save ourselves. Oh, they've got Boyko up front, formerly of this parish. Speaking of formerly of this parish, Francisco Padilla, formerly of the Swindon Town School of Bad Strikers, going through that sort of period where I couldn't find good strikers in the Premier League for Swindon. He has now taken over as manager of Burnley, the Peruvian striker who I sold to Bayern Munich for £10 million or something thereabouts. At the age of 38, Bakar Gomez scores. That's what we want to see. He's been out with injury problems for some of this year, but he's scored now. Oh, come on, FC Lviv. We're playing in a strange white kit. Usually our away kit is blue, I think. So I don't know why we're not just playing in our home kit. I don't know what... Because you'd think... but their kit seems like it's black and blue, not red and blue, which you'd think it would be. Don't know what's going on there. Anyway, Boyo, crosses, gone out for a corner. Paripovic. The other thing I'm thinking is, because we've not been so strong at the back, I'm wondering whether or not the goalkeeping change, because we had a different goalkeeper, Ola, last season. I'm wondering whether or not it's possible that he might be part of the reason that we're conceding more goals. It's definitely possible. It's probably quite likely. I know he wasn't quite as good as the guy we had last year, but he was on big money, and this guy's not on so much money and is younger. Therein probably lies the problem. But it needs must when we built a new stadium. We still don't fill it. I noticed that we only get about 85% of the stadium full Prochaska, Butkus, good name. We also missed out on an absolutely sensational... Bobic. We missed out on an absolutely sensational Lithuanian young midfielder who I think ended up going to some Portuguese club, probably because they could offer him loads more money than us. He was on a free. I had got him to accept a deal. Gomez again, no. God damn it, man. And he would have really been an upgrade even on Abogi in our midfield there. So that would have been a delightful signing, but we didn't get him in the end. He did agree to come, but then he went and signed for a team in Portugal. Why you would want to go to Portugal when you could come to the glories of Lviv in Ukraine? I don't know, but to each their own. To each their own. Anyway, we have got a sensational right back now. The fun thing is, great finish from Jan Torno, but he wasn't offside. He pissed off the fans by joining and saying this is only a stepping stone for him. and so I tried to discipline him, and I said, your attitude's not great. And he was like, I don't think that's very fair. I was like, oh, come on. What does this game want? I wouldn't really, to be honest, I wouldn't have bothered doing anything if the fans hadn't been so outraged. I would have been like, well, yeah, fair enough. It's I know that it's a stepping stone for the players that we signed at the moment. Obviously, eventually we'll get to the point where we're the destination. Although, amusingly, one of them, I think it might have been Aziz, said that this was a dream. Moving to a club like Lviv was a dream come true, which just made me laugh considering the season we're currently having, and just generally. But yeah, the fun things that you have when you play Football Manager in an obscure league. In a poor team with loads of debt. Now then, let's give the fans something to cheer. Strange thing that I don't usually say, but let's go out there. Come on, let's beat these boys from Kiev. Send them down. Arsenalna. Oh, Karpaty. Yes, Karpaty are losing. That's good. We are jumping the table. We're going above Tavria. I've been pinpointing games. I'll maybe just because we're only going to do one game, and this one's going to be over relatively soon. So I'll discuss what I'm expecting from the remaining fixtures. I've been attempting to pinpoint games that I think we can win in our quest to have a decent season. There are a few which I'm not expecting us to win, but then there are also games that fucking hell, Jan Torno. Okay then, and we also have loads of players who are tired and useless. Right, Von der Putten is coming on for Jan Torno. We will put, God's sake. Right, Aziz is going to have to play left mid, despite possessing very few of the qualities that he actually would need to do that. Butt kiss. Okay, anyway, 61 minutes. Parvanov. Left back's a bit of a problem. I've been playing Mao a little for a few games, and he's prone to excessive bouts of randomness. He's technically better than Parvanov, but what on earth are you two doing? But plays much, much worse. Perez, great ball through. Perez, Butkus saves. He's just sort of not... for goodness sake, it's like a comedy of errors. It's not the ideal sitch, but it is the sitch that we've got. That's going to be a position that I attempt to target next season. I'm also in two minds about what we do about this Ukrainian thing, because we really need to be sustainable. I can't go out and buy Ukrainians, and yet we need them to do things like the Cup. Luckily, we won't have to worry about the Europa League next year. I suspect we won't be troubling that competition for a year at least. But yeah, it's all like trying to work out the strategy. Because Schmack is coming through and he's pretty good, but you can't do everything with one homegrown player, especially where the game insists you need something like 7. So no. Okay, Vergara clears. Now that's a touch. I assume his dribbling is 1. Boyo gives it to Djordjevic. I'm also being recommended my scouts keep saying, I recommend this striker. His name is Bobby. I'm like, yeah, I just sold him 18 months ago. And I'd have to buy him for nearly £1 million. I don't think that's how this works. It's not how it's going to work anyway. Oh no, that's not the right one to do. Let's go with that one. I've been doing my best to make money wherever I can. So I tried to sign Papo. I tried to sell Papo. I tried to sell other one that I just brought on, Ballon. Go on, someone. Oh God, looks like a relegation scrap, doesn't it? This one. We've been absolutely dominant. Come on. Oh God's sake. Tavria are a team that we're playing soon, and we could do with a Dnipro goal here to help us out a little bit. We could do with a Dnipro goal. Oh no, Karpaty are winning again. That's a shame. Parvanov, great big ball up for Gomez to chase. He doesn't get there. Gomez is also, I noticed, 16 stone. He probably needs to, work off a few of them. Oh, it would have been a stunner from Aboji. I assume that's not Graham Murty that scored for Karpaty's probably dead at this point. Boyko, that would have been a sensational bit of coming back and scoring against your old clubbery, but he didn't, which is good. Oh God, get it out please. Vergara uses his 18 pace to slowly walk forwards. Gomez has got the ball. That's not offside? Could he cross it? Oh, you're completely useless. Completely useless. Parvanov to Aziz. Prochazka. Oh my God. Prochazka gets there. Thank you. Prochazka going on his own. Prochazka still going. Puts the ball in the middle. Okay. I'll allow it. We won't talk over it. Gomez's goal, his early goal. I mean, we could have had a fucking 50 if we'd taken some of our chances. Good win, boys. Away from home, we've actually got a win for once. We only had 4 shots on target out of 21. That's pathetic. But, okay, Tavria didn't concede against the Dnipro, but we have leapfrogged them. We are now up to 12th. Theoretically, I mean, we're only 8 points behind 7th, so we could easily get back into the top 10, I would hope for at least. We're only 1 win away from that. But I'm hoping that we push on into that sort of 7th, 8th position this season. Maybe if we can just try and fucking miss out on the Europe, that'd be great. I mean, I don't suspect we'll have to work too hard to do that. But there we go. Right. Yeah, so I have only 10 minutes before I have to start, so I won't do another game, but I'm going to tell you what my plan is. So essentially, Dnipro, where are they in the league? They are... Dnipro 6th, so there's a chance we could nick something off of them. We're at home. But the real focus is going to be on Tavria and Bukovina. They are 2 games that we definitely should be looking to win. They're both below us now in the table. Bukovina particularly are poor. Tavria not much better. And then I see we've got Ilichevets in the middle of that as well. They're not great. Volin, I think, are also not great. Volina also not great. So we have, over the next, except for the Dnipro game, those games there are all winnable. You could argue that the Dnipro game is at least sort of up in the air a little bit. If we can win all of those and have a decent end of the season, then we'll go into a hard run of games. Chornomorets not so much, but Metalist, Kiev, Karpaty and Shakhtar, they're all big games. We need to have got all of our points that we need to sort of push ourselves up a bit in the table by then. So I know last season I think we beat all of those teams in the second half of the year, except for possibly Chornomorets, ironically. This season we shouldn't be expecting that. We've got 10 games left. We need to try and win at least those 4. Probably that one as well. And I would like to put a dent in their title opportunity by beating them at Karpaty. So, in the interest of keeping things interesting, we're going to watch the Tavria and Bukovina games. And then we'll probably play the final games of the season, Karpaty and Shakhtar. So I'll see you for those games there. And I wish us luck. Hopefully we can climb the table a bit more and end on a bit of a high note, because that run there was fucking dreadful. That's the reason it's taken me so long to upload another video, is I would play one, get pissed off, save, quit, and then come back a day later and try again. And oh God, anyway. So I'll see you in a bit, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.